This is exactly what I wanted to see, is people using this guitar and make their own sounds out of it. So on the original PRS launch video, I said a funny thing, you know, I'm just picking up the comments that I see on YouTube is, oh, Herman said he was making a guitar for everybody, but the price range wasn't for everybody. Luckily, we do have now the PRS SE Chleo model here in my hand, and I'm super excited that the guitar players out there get to try one of these guitars. When we first talked about an SE model PRS, I said, look, if we're gonna make an SE model, it has to be a professional quality guitar instrument. It's gotta be as good as my previous stage guitars that I was playing. I said, if it's not gonna be a pro quality guitar, don't bother. But I'm so happy that we're able to make something that is incredibly easy to play. It sounds so good. So with this guitar, the SE model, I'm just in love with it. You know, I'm in love with it as much as the core model, because being able to recreate something with a lot of the features that is on the core model, make it sound so good and so easy to play. I think they've done such an incredible job. Have the exact same neck shape as the core model. We have a 20-inch radius locking nut, a 20-inch radius fretboard, so it makes it extremely easy to play. And until now, I still haven't seen a guitar with a double locking system that has a 20-inch radius fretboard. So this is, for me, I think a very unique feature on the PRS Chleo models. We have a Floyd Rose locking bridge here. It is also a push-in bar, so easy to access, easy to control the notes. As you can see, if I'm moving here, there's no give. It's very, very tight when it comes to how it reacts. It's really an instant reaction to the guitar. With the pickups, we have the Fishman Fluence Omniforce pickups, which I designed with Fishman. Funny enough, I didn't design it only for this guitar. I did test these pickups on multiple guitars in my home as well, so it fits all kinds of different electric guitar. But of course, with this model here, we have 13 different sounds on this. So we have a lot of switching here. And if you check out the diagram, you can see there's a huge amount of different switching options and coil, splitting, and 3 different voices. So with the Fishman Fluence, voice 1, I made it like a passive electric guitar pickup with the Fishman Fluence technology. The Fishman Fluence technology have the way they design the pickup, it picks up more frequencies than a traditional hand-wound pickup. So it's got a little bit more frequency that if you haven't played one before, you go, oh wow, I never heard these before. If you want to have a more traditional sound, just a traditional passive pickups, you can pull on the tone knob, you pull it up and you get voice 2. And voice 2 is going for really a more passive pickup, actually, the way it's designed. The neck pickup, the way I voice the neck pickup is actually meant to sound more like a 22 frets guitar. On a 22 frets guitar, the pickup position, they move higher up here towards the headstock. So the tone is warmer, and I always loved a warmer neck pickup sound. That means when I switch it, I can hear an instant switching between the bridge pickup and the neck pickup. So we voiced it to be warmer, to sound closer like a 22 frets. With the middle pickup, the way it's voiced, it is louder, the gain on it, to match the other 2 pickups. So this is meant to be lower, the other 2 pickups, so it doesn't get in the way of the playing, and still you can get much more versatility on the instrument when you have so many pickups and so many switching available. If you use the volume knob here and you pull up, you switch into voice 3. And voice 3 is an independent single coil pickup sound, which means instead of splitting a humbucker and just having half the humbucker sound, you get half the coil, but the sound actually turns into a complete different sound. They're just taking an existing humbucker and cutting in 2. That is the beauty of the technology here behind the Fishman Fluence technology. So you get a separate single coil pickup, which I voice using some of my favorite single coil guitar sounds. So I was like, I spent many time, with the engineers from Fishman in my studio, testing different guitars that I love and matching different sound and working on something that, that works for me and still have his own personality. This voice 2 here, voice 2 work for when you're only using a humbucker. You got here with this position 1, you got this humbucker. Of course, here you got the neck humbucker, and you can switch between the 2 voices. And then if you have the middle one, you got the 2 humbuckers at the same time, which similar to a Les Paul. You pull up here, you get voice 2 of them together. Although it's a passive sounding pickup, it does need a battery to operate it. So we have a 9-volt installation at the back to operate the technology of the Fishman Fluence system. I'm so happy that on this model, we still have the Eclipse Dragon inlay on the guitars. In case you didn't know, Paul is a dragon nerd. He loves dragons. So it was like a perfect match when I told him, look, I think we should have dragons instead of birds for this guitar. And he was totally into the idea. And I love how they look. On the side of the guitar, we have luminate dots, so you can still see in the dark. If you're on a dark stage, then they do glow in the dark. When it comes to the construction of the SE model, I can tell you compared to the core model, it's a slightly different. We have a veneer flame maple top, and it looks so cool because of the different construction of the wood, with this being a veneer and the other one having a thicker maple top. So the sound of the guitar is different because of this. So this one actually, they're very close in sounds because of the pickups, but because of a bigger piece of mahogany does have a warmer, a bit of a bassier tone compared to the core model, which has more maple wood on the top. One of the differences between this and the core model is the input jack is now different. Instead of being inside the body, we have a input jack here, which still stays out of the way of the playing. So if I grab the bar, the way the cable tucks away is still perfectly fine for playing on stage. The way the cutaway here is, the way the neck joint access is, you got so much access, you can see. My fingers go way beyond the 24 frets I need. So if you've got bigger hands, you can still access it really easy. And the way the body is cut, and if you're into 6-string sweep picking, you want to do those big sweeps here, you see there's nothing stopping you, it doesn't get in the way. The hand just really kind of roll with the carve of the wood to make it extremely easy to play. And since I'm they say the guitar snob, everything on this guitar, even though it's an SE model, I wouldn't say it's just for students, right? It's really a professional quality. I can feel the neck here, the frets is really well put in together. It doesn't feel like it's anything less in terms of playability compared to the core model. As a kid, I always had a dream of designing a guitar. I'm looking at this beyond of my ability as a guitar player, something that can really work for everybody. It's like I'm not a great jazz player, but there are tones here that people can access for playing that kind of music. Classic rock, metal, clean sound. I've seen some really cool demo of the clean sounds by other guitar players who have got hold of the Chleo guitars. This is exactly what I wanted to see, is people using this guitar and make their own sounds out of it.